welcome back to another video. My name is Chloe and today I have a Disney planning video for you guys. You guys seem to really enjoy when I kind of walk through all of the plans that we have for our upcoming Disney trip. I will have a blog post linked in the bio that kind of goes into probably more detail or things that I'll forget to talk about in this video, but if you want to check that out, I will have that linked down below. But let's talk about this trip. So, for my 30th birthday, my whole family, Dan, my brother, his girlfriend, my sister Callista, which you've seen in a couple of vlogs, her boyfriend George, he went with us last August, my mom, my dad, we're all going to Disney World, and it has been about 10 years, 12 years since we've all gone to Disney together, at least like my immediate family. My brother's been really busy the last couple of years, so we just really haven't found time to kind of go as a family. And then my mom, my sister, and I kind of just started doing girls trips once a year or a couple times a year. And finally we're all getting to go back together, and my birthday was kind of just a good excuse. We have 3 teachers in the family, and the summer is the best time to really get away for us just because spring break is so crazy in Disney and we have the most time off in the summer. It worked for my brother, worked for myself, Dan, so that is kind of why we're going around my birthday, but also gonna go celebrate my birthday. We actually won't be there on my birthday. My birthday is the 6th and we're leaving the 7th, but I thought I would do a planning video to share with you guys the dining reservations we have, the park reservations, anything I can possibly think of to share with you guys. So let's just get right into it. And if you've watched any of my planning videos in the past, I am going to be opening up a Disney Doorable window box door between each day of the trip as I go through them, because they're just fun to open and give you guys something else to look at instead of me just rambling on forever and ever. So let's get started. All right, so our trip is beginning on August 7th. Like I said, my birthday's on the 6th. Our trip's beginning on the 7th. We are flying out with Southwest out of Buffalo. Our flight leaves at 6 p.m. so it's a pretty good time for us since we're not super early risers. Like, early morning flights tend to make most people in my family nauseous, sick. Then you're cranky too because you didn't get a good night's sleep. So this was a perfect flight for us. It is straight through. Thankfully, Southwest did not change that. Knock on wood. I've heard a lot of horror stories lately with Southwest, so hopefully we have a good flight experience, but thankfully the only thing that we really need to do that night is get to Disney World. That's it. So we're flying out of Southwest. There's 8 of us, so that's super fun. This is like the biggest trip that I've planned. This is the biggest trip I've planned in a while. We did go to Europe when my sister Callista was studying abroad in Manchester, England, and we did like a whole family trip then, but Disney takes, in my opinion, the most planning, just because when you do Europe, you kind of go like, oh, here's 3 things that we want to do. Disney, it's a lot of scheduling things, booking things, but we should be good. Just got to get to the airport that night. Like I said, our flight leaves at 6 p.m. It's scheduled to land around 8:30. Hopefully that remains the time we land. It's a pretty good time to land in Orlando. And instead of taking the Magical Express, which we did consider, we are actually booking a limo. It's basically just a caravan bus thing. We booked one of those through Happy Limo, and they are picking us up from the airport. Around the time that we were booking Magical Express and all those fun things was when people really started picking up and traveling again, and Magical Express wait times were like 2 hours long. My family just doesn't have the patience for that. I barely have the patience for that, and I clearly get it from somewhere. So not to mention that when you fly Southwest, your baggage will be dropped off at the A terminal and Magical Express is in the B terminal. And like I said, my family doesn't have a lot of patience, so dragging our luggage from one terminal over to the other probably wouldn't have been the easiest transition, especially with 8 people and all the luggage. I mean, we're going for a long trip, so we're all gonna have a lot of bags and stuff and backpacks, so this seemed like the best option. Hopefully it will be. I think it was about $100 for the size van that we needed to pick us up from the airport, and then we just had to tip the night of, but I think it'll be a great experience. It's about the same cost of 2 Ubers, but again, Ubers can be hard to get right now just because everybody's Ubering from the Orlando airport, so this just seemed like the absolute best choice for all of us, and hopefully should be a good experience. And I will obviously let you guys know how We like the Happy Limo service. We're actually using them 3 times in this trip, but I'll get to that. So we are checking into Riviera Resort in a 2-bedroom villa that night. Actually, a preferred 2-bedroom villa, which should be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited that it has plenty of beds for everybody. There's a king bed, then there's the pull-down Murphy bed, and then there should be 2 queens or a queen and a Murphy bed in the 3rd room. But we're super excited. I love the Riviera. I think it's a beautiful resort. Great location, excited to be on the Skyliner, and overall should just be a great time. The only issue with flying in later in the day is that if you watched my girls trip video that just went up this past week, you'll know that there are not many dining options in Orlando or Disney after 10 p.m. And if there's any delays or however we get to Riviera, we're gonna be kind of strapped for food, and no one likes a hangry start to their vacation. So I have 2 plans. The first one is I ordered a charcuterie plate from Magical Charcuterie. I will link them down below. I've used them a couple times. That should be a nice little snack for us to have. We'll obviously also order a bunch of stuff from Amazon Prime now. We'll have the Bell Services bring up all of our groceries and the charcuterie so we can pick on that. And then I'm also gonna order pizza from a place called Flippers. I looked into it. That seems to be the one pizza place that you can have delivered to the Riviera, so we're gonna go with that. Pizza probably won't be amazing. We're from Buffalo. We are kind of pizza snobs up here, but I'm sure it'll hit the spot. It'll be good enough to at least get us to the point where we're not hangry and we can all have a good night's sleep. So door number 1. Oh, our first one's a duplicate. So the next day is our first full day, and our plans are to head to the Magic Kingdom. But first, we're actually heading to the Contemporary, and we're gonna try out the temporary breakfast, which is the wave food in the California Grill. That seems like an amazing experience. I mean, kind of once in a lifetime, considering before, if you wanted breakfast or brunch in California Grill, the only option was Sunday brunch for $80, $90 a person. So to get that beautiful atmosphere view experience for the wave breakfast prices, that's amazing. I wasn't able to get a reservation for all 8 of us at once, but we have 2 reservations of 4. If they could seat us together, great. If not, we'll just wave to each other from afar. We're gonna be together for the whole trip, so a little separation will be okay. And then after breakfast, like I said, we're gonna head to the Magic Kingdom. No fast passes still, so our plan will probably be to take some family pictures on Main Street and then go where the day takes us. Probably head to something that's air conditioned to begin with, thinking Little Mermaid, and then definitely over to Tomorrowland for Space Mountain, People Mover, Buzz, all those fun things, because we're definitely a Tomorrowland family, so that's very important. And I'm just excited to go on Splash Mountain because there's 8 of us, and all 8 of us will perfectly fit in a Splash Mountain car. Like, we'll have one to ourselves, and that just sounds like so much fun, so that I'm really looking forward to. And then that night we have dinner at Be Our Guest, which I know some people don't love Be Our Guest, but I have had good experiences there. The food has always been pretty good for me. It's definitely a more expensive experience, but we have some eaters in this family, so we're spending money on food no matter what. But I'm really excited to eat at Be Our Guest. My brother's girlfriend Laura loves Beauty and the Beast. I'm pretty sure that's like her favorite Disney character or Disney movie. So it's just all around going to be a great dining experience, and I am excited for it. And me, Callista, Dan, and George actually ate there last August, so I will link that video down below if you want to go check that out. Obviously that night, for me, one of the important things is I really want to watch Happily Ever After. I'm not sure where on the totem pole it falls for my family, but for myself, I'm definitely watching the fireworks just because it's one of the last opportunities to really watch Happily Ever After for myself, because I won't be back before the show ends in September. And even though I liked Wishes more than Happily Ever After, there are a lot of songs in Happily Ever After that were songs that Dan and I had in our wedding, like You'll Be in My Heart, I See the Light, which was our first dance, and because of that, it does have a special place in my heart, so I'm definitely watching the show. Hopefully it's not too crowded where we can't find a spot, but we'll play it by ear. Door number 2. Whoop! We got a Marie. I don't think I have her. She's really cute. So then the next day is August 9th, and we are heading to Epcot, which we all love Epcot in this family. Super excited for that. I do think we're gonna eat breakfast, lunch at the resort before we head to Epcot, just because Everything in Epcot is such a walk, and it's summer, it's hot. It just seems like a better idea to have everybody eat before we head out. So we'll probably eat at the resort and then we'll hop on the Skyliner, which I'm excited to go on the Skyliner. My dad hasn't been on it. My brother, his girlfriend, they haven't been on it. So I think everybody's gonna really enjoy that mode of transportation just because it's so easy. So we're gonna hop on the Skyliner and go to Epcot. I'm thinking our plan will be to head right towards the Land Pavilion, just again, because it's summer, it's hot. Everything's a far walk, but at least that one's inside and we could wait in air conditioning for Soarin' and Living with the Land and all that good stuff, and then probably head to Test Track. And of course, we are going to attempt to drink around the world. We didn't make it last time. I will link that video as well when we tried in August, but I'm hoping because the park's open a little bit later, I think the park closed at 7 when we tried last time, so hopefully we can do it this time. But either way, I think we'll have fun just being together and drinking. This is the first family vacation to Disney, at least. I think we're all over 21 for Europe, but this is the first Disney vacation where we're all there and we're all over 21, so we can all get some drinks. So I'm super excited for that. And then again, I definitely want to see Epcot Forever. I never saw the show. I'm kind of bummed that they don't have the jet skis with the kites anymore, but it is what it is. Totally understand that they had to get rid of them, even though I hate those fountain things in the middle of the water. Whatever. It's beside the point. I still want to see the show, so I don't know if my family will head back to the room early or whatever, but I definitely want to see the fireworks. Oh, and I forgot, we are also dining at Via Napoli, which we love Via Napoli, and I think it's a pretty inexpensive option for a larger group because we could just get a couple of big pizzas and share the pizzas and split them up and stuff, so I think that'll be really good, and the pizza's always delicious, so can't go wrong with Via Napoli. All right, door number 3. Ooh, Elsa. I don't think I have Elsa. She's so cute as her little queen form. And the next day is August 10th, and it's our rest day, which for half of us it's a rest day, and half of us not so much a rest day. Really not a rest day for Dan. But for 4 of us, including myself, we are going to spend the day at the pool, at the Riviera. I'm super excited to have a resort day. We're staying at a beautiful resort. It's gonna be nice to actually enjoy it. My plan is definitely to hit up Bar Riva and get some delicious drinks because why not? And then the other 4, which would be Dan, my brother Mike, his girlfriend Laura, and closest boyfriend George, they're actually going golfing at Lake Buena Vista golf course. They wanted to do Magnolia or Palm Magnolia, but unfortunately that was closed on, I think it's a Tuesday, so they couldn't do that one, so they chose Lake Buena Vista. So they're gonna go golfing and do 18 holes. They all love golfing, so I think they'll have a really good time, and I'm excited to see how that goes for them. Dan loves golfing lately, so I think he'll really enjoy that. And then that night for dinner, we are heading to Disney Springs, and we're going to Morimoto's, which is another family favorite. We're not really venturing out on dining options this trip. We're strictly going with things that we know we love, which is probably a good thing because trying new things in Disney can be hit and miss. But we are doing Morimoto's, like I said, and it should be a really delicious meal. We usually don't order entrees for everybody. What we tend to do is kind of do like a tapas thing where we order a ton of different appetizers, sushi, all that fun stuff, and kind of just pick and choose. So that should work out, and we always enjoy our meal there. And then this night, Dan and I are actually splitting off from the group, and we are going to Magic Kingdom for the first night of Boo Bash, which I'm so excited for. We usually enjoy the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and the last couple years the Halloween party was getting really crowded and busy and almost impossible to get anything done. So I'm interested to see if Disney stuck to their guns for this after hours party and did limit attendance, because it would be nice to have an after hours party with limited guests. But we are also going to the first night, which means there'll probably be a lot of vloggers there, and sometimes that adds to the crowds, but I'm just excited to go to the party. My family didn't really have any interest in doing the Halloween party, so they're just gonna stay in Disney Springs and hit up some of the lounges. I told them to go like Jock Lindsay's and the Boathouse and all those fun places, just because there are so many places to drink in Disney Springs that they'll have a good time. And if they get bored, they can just Uber or bus back to the Riviera. Door number 4. Oh, Rapunzel. I don't think I actually have this Rapunzel. I have the one where like she has her cut brown hair, so I'm happy to have her. Probably poor planning on my part, but I will be staying up late for Boo Bash and then having to get up early the next day because we are going to Hollywood Studios on the 11th. And of course, I'm going to be getting up at 7 a.m. and attempting to get a Rise of the Resistance boarding pass. That always stresses me out. Always get so nervous. Like when we went in May with my mom and my sister, the whole night I barely got any sleep. I kept having a recurring nightmare that I was going to sleep through my alarm and not get the boarding pass. Not that I didn't even attempt in my dream. That's how crazy I am. But hopefully I'll have some good luck. Send me some good juju your way. I think I have the system pretty much down pat, but there's 8 of us, so that is kind of a different experience for myself. So we'll see how that goes. If I don't get one at 7 a.m., hopefully I can get one at 1 p.m. But I really want to get on it because I know my brother will love it. He's a big Star Wars fan. And I think my dad would really enjoy it. And I think Laura would too. Everybody else has been on it, but I just think it's a really fun ride. And again, there's 8 of us, so we'll have a whole car to ourselves. That's pretty cool. And we also just have some fun plans for Hollywood Studios. So obviously we want to do Rise of Resistance. Hopefully we get a boarding pass. And then obviously we also want to do Smuggler's Run. That one kind of stinks because it's a 6-person ride, so we'll have to split up in 4 and 4. But I really want to go with my brother and his girlfriend because I think riding with first-time pilots is always the most fun. So I think we're going to do that. And then I think in my parents, they're gonna do my dad and my sister as the pilots, so that should be really fun and I'm just excited to go on that. For lunch that day, our plans are to hit up Pizza Rizzos. It's inside, it's air conditioned, there's plenty of seating, and like I said, we like pizza, so it's a pretty good option for our family, and I just think it's better than going to Woody's Lunchbox where you're outside, it's hot, there's nowhere to get any reprieve from the heat. So at least Pizza Rizzo's is inside and we should be good and cool off. At some point that day we have a reservation for Oga's Cantina, which I'm also excited to go to because who doesn't love Oga's? And my brother's never been and my dad's never been, and we've hyped up this place. Hopefully we haven't hyped it up too much because sometimes that happens. But I think we'll just have a really good time going to Oga's and getting drinks and having a good time together. Obviously we'll be hitting up the normal things like Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, maybe Slinky Dog if the line's not too long. With the rule about wearing masks in line, I'm not keen on waiting on that one just because it's so hot in that line, but we'll see. And obviously Toy Story Mania because I have new competitors. As I say, I'm not competitive. I'm like, I have new competitors. But I'm just excited to go and hang out with my family, so clearly I'm very excited. And that night we'll be having dinner at Topolino's Terrace, another one of our favorites. My dad, brother, and Laura have not been to Topolino's, but I know they're gonna love the food. It's delicious. And it'll be nice just because it's in the Riviera. We don't have to travel to get to dinner, and I think we'll just all really enjoy it. And hopefully we'll be able to see maybe Epcot forever from the terrace. We'll see. The last time I dined there, the last 2 times I've dined there, there were no fireworks going on. So it'd be cool to see some fireworks from the terrace because I'm pretty sure they built it so you could see like all of the park's fireworks, but we shall see. All right, door number 5. Oh, we have Buttercup from Toy Story. I don't think I have Buttercup. So cute. And then the next day is August 12th. The plan is to head to Animal Kingdom. We'll probably have lunch at Satuli Canteen. Again, it's mostly inside. I mean, if we have to sit outside, it's fine, but the food's really good. I love me a cheeseburger pod. So we'll definitely be going there for lunch and then probably hitting up like Flight of Passage. Not sure if we'll do Navi's just because it's kind of boring. And we'll be doing the safari, of course, Everest and Dinosaur, and whatever else we feel like doing. There's really not that much to do in Animal Kingdom anymore, in my opinion, but depending on how long the lines are, we could be there for a while just doing all of that. So that should be fun. And then for dinner that night, we'll be heading back to California Grill. So we're starting and ending our dining out in Disney with California Grill. But this time I'll be actually eating California Grill food. And that's probably my favorite dining reservation or dining experience in all of Disney, between the view of Magic Kingdom, how the restaurant looks, the food, the atmosphere, everything is just my absolute favorite. I think I mentioned the food. The food is amazing. The goat cheese ravioli, the sushi, oh my gosh. So definitely excited for that meal, and we're right in the time frame for like our dinner. I think starts at around 7:50 and then should be ending around the time fireworks start. So that should work out pretty well. Not sure if we'll go out on the balcony just because sometimes it's so crowded out there, but I'm just excited to be back at California Grill with fireworks. Amazing. Door number 6. Ooh, Flora. And I know I have one of the fairy godmothers, but I'm not entirely sure which one I have. I don't think it was Flora though. So if I didn't have Flora, that's exciting. And then the next morning will be August 13th, and unfortunately we will be checking out of the Riviera, but it's not super sad because we are actually heading to Port Canaveral to board the Disney Dream, which I'm so excited for. Oh my gosh. So like I mentioned, we are using Happy Limo to get from the Riviera to Port Canaveral. I think that should work out the best. The Disney Cruise Line transportation was more expensive, and I believe they get you to the port a little bit later, and we want to get there as soon as possible. So pre-COVID, Disney Cruise Line, the earliest port arrival time I think was around 11 a.m. They've since changed that, I think so they can give themselves more time to like clean the rooms and stuff before people come on. Now the earliest boarding time is I think 1 or 1:15. We have whatever the earliest boarding time is for non-concierge cruisers. So we will be getting there around that time, which is actually kind of perfect for my family. Like I mentioned, we're not early risers. So the Happy Limo is not picking us up till 11 a.m. Perfect timing because we can all kind of sleep in, and that's just when checkout is. So we're not homeless for any amount of time. So it's just perfect. So we'll get picked up, dropped off at the Disney Dream. I've completed all of our online check-in. I've also uploaded our vaccinations because all 8 of us are vaccinated. 33 days before the cruise, you can upload your proof of vaccination to, it's called Safe Passage, and the website allows you to upload the documents that you need. So I've done that. I have all of our QR codes, so hopefully we have a smooth check-in process. We'll see, just because there's not much time for me to research because the first cruise is the one before ours, so those people, by the time they're getting off, I can't really like find out anything, so it is what it is. It should be fine. And when we get on the ship, the plan is probably to head to, I'm hoping they have the sit-down restaurants open for lunch because I think my family would prefer that over like a buffet. But either way, we'll either do cabanas or a sit-down restaurant, and then probably head to the pool because why not head to the pool? So we'll do that. And then I think they said the rooms will be ready around 4 p.m. So we'll head to the rooms. And I think we also need to do our muster drill, which is on the cruise app, so we have to do that prior to checking into our room, I think. Prior to checking into our room or before 4 p.m. So whatever order that comes in, but we have to do that as well. And then that night we will be doing dinner. Obviously, if you've done a Disney cruise, you know that they will assign your dining rotation when you check in for your cruise. They give you a little card that will say like, usually says like AER or REA, and the letters represent the first letter of the restaurant you will be dining at first. So there's Royal Palace, Enchanted Garden, I think it's Enchanted Garden, and Animator's Palette. So we'll be dining at one of those the first night. I'm excited to enjoy dinner and definitely do some shopping. And of course, our plan is to hit up the adult lounges every night. So I'm super excited about that. The last time we were on a Disney cruise, when Dan and I were on a Disney cruise, we never made it to the Champagne Lounge, the Champagne Bar, and I am definitely making it there this time because it looks so cute. And I never made it. But we obviously want to see the shows too, like they usually do like the Family Feud or like Do You Know Your Family Member, whatever it is. So I'm excited to do all those. Your number 7. Oh, Rex! Oh, Rex is cute. I like how bright he is. And then the exciting thing about our cruise is that a couple weeks ago, we were supposed to go to Nassau in the Bahamas and Castaway Cay, so 1 day at each. Now we're doing 2 days at Castaway Cay, so this cruise that we booked, which shouldn't have been a double dip, is now a double dip to Castaway Cay, and those are very expensive cruises usually. So I'm very excited, and it kind of creates like this bubble for our cruise because we're never experiencing people who are not on our cruise, and in theory, everybody on our cruise should be vaccinated or have tested negative for COVID. So it should work out perfect, and I'm just super excited. I loved Castaway Cay when Dan and I went the last time. Obviously, we have plans to go hang out in Serenity Bay, which is the adults only beach, and just have a great time. I think I'm gonna pack Dan and I's snorkel gear so we don't have to buy any. Depending on how much those weigh, I may just pay the money and rent some when we're there, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm just super excited. So that night, obviously, we'll have another dinner on the cruise. Who did we get, Joy? Maui. He's so cool. and the next day we'll be back to Castaway Cay. I think they kind of just go and do circles in the area and then bring you back, so that should be fun. So you still kind of get that sailing experience. And then obviously I'm excited for a second day at Castaway Cay because 2 days at the beach, like that just sounds perfect after a go Disney vacation, and then to get to just chill on Disney's private island on their beach, amazing. And so we'll obviously have our dinner the last night, and then on the last, all right, door number 9. Oh, a duplicate in the home video. Day we check out, or we will disembark our cruise on August 16th. And if you've never been on a Disney cruise before, disembarkation usually is very early in the morning, depending on which dining rotation you have on a Disney cruise. So we have the late dining rotation because we're adults. We don't need to be eating dinner at 5:45 or whatever time they assign us. So we have the late dining rotation, which I think usually means you can get off the ship around like 8:45, 9 a.m. So that should work out pretty well for us. We'll probably have breakfast that morning. We are getting picked up by Happy Limo again to be brought back to the Orlando airport because we'll be flying out that day. But when I was thinking of the trip and planning it, I was trying to figure out, like, what do you do from the time you leave the cruise ship to the time your flight leaves? Because like when Dan and I left the cruise ship, we had a car the last time and we drove to Disney Springs and we had like lunch and went to see a movie, and we were pretty tired at that point. All we wanted to do was kind of lay down and just chill. But it's hot and it's like summer, so where can you go lay down and chill? That doesn't really exist in Disney unless you have a room. So even if you got a Disney room, you'd have to pay for the night before and the night of to have the time frame from like the time you get off the ship to the time you need to be at the airport. So that didn't really make sense. And some lovely friends on Twitter actually told me about the day pass at the Hyatt. It's about $99, I think it was. And it $99 for 4 people, and it gets you a room with 2 beds, obviously access to a bathroom, shower, and the pool at the Hyatt, which I had no idea that they had that. And this is the Hyatt that's like in the airport. Like when you walk out of the terminals and you see all those rooms, that's the Hyatt I'm talking about. So I guess there's a pool, and that just sounds perfect. Like if anybody wants to go swimming or nap or whatever they want to do. Obviously we needed to get 2 rooms, so for us it was about $200, but I just think that's a great option. I think the check-in time and the checkout time for the room was like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., which for us is perfect because our flight I think takes off at 6 p.m. So we'll have to obviously go do the security process around 4 p.m. So from the time we get off the ship to the time we have to check in for our flight, we have a place to be, a comfortable place to be, an air-conditioned place to be, so it'll just be perfect. And that is our whole trip. If you guys enjoyed this planning itinerary video, I make itineraries for all of our vacations. It's to the point now, if I don't make one, my sister and Dan are like, excuse me, send me the itinerary because I need to know. I've created monsters, but I enjoy it and I love that they look forward to the itineraries just as much as I do. And hopefully this gave you guys some ideas or some tips for your upcoming Disney travels. Obviously things may change, but hopefully for the most part it's a well-planned trip and I'm just excited to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!